Hey guys, welcome to week 13 of the Nautical Nonsense rehab or rebuild. This week we hope to get a few things done, but we have a storm coming, and as you will see, we had to deal with that. But we did make a little progress, so I hope you enjoy this week's video, and maybe it won't be too boring or too long. So here we go with Nautical Nonsense rebuild week 13. All right, going to tie it up. One spike tied up so the hurricane doesn't blow it away. It's Tuesday, September the 4th. We've got a hurricane coming, Hurricane Gordon. So I took a long lunch, came home, retied the boat. So I got a line here with some slack, a line there with some slack. I stuck that barrel in there just to keep it from beating against the dock. That may not work out too good. I left the tarp on it. I went back and forth between taking it off and leaving it. But the water that fills up right back there will hold it pretty tight. So maybe that'll keep it from blowing off. And if it gets enough water in there, it'll come around this corner and run off, and the bilge pumps will pump it out. But I think it beats just being wide open to the rain. It's got it tied off there to that tree. Got it tied off here to this tree, to this anchor. Hopefully all that'll hold it. We're not supposed to get, it's made it through some thunderstorms. It's had 16, 70 miles an hour in wind. Plus it's made it through one tropical storm. I wish I could find my video where the boat was above these and it stayed. So anyhow, that's what we got. The hurricane will be here tonight. The strongest winds will be coming as it moves inland. The winds will be coming from that direction, and then they'll switch as it moves further inland and comes this way. So the strongest will be there, and it'll weaken as it moves off that way. So hopefully my engineering here on my rigging will hold it. We'll see what we got. So check back in later. Well, about another hour or so before the storm hits. A little breezy. The boat seems to be doing alright. Awning's already tore. Figured that would happen. Might do another. Oh man, I forgot about the top. Crap. Yep, that's history. Here's a view from inside the boat. I retied my tarp. It's holding pretty good. Wind's picking up a little bit. Still hadn't got here yet. I went down there and retied the tarp and put the top down, which I should have done that earlier. Forgot all about it. I knew there was something I probably needed to do. Got it down. Tarp's holding up better than I thought now that I retied it. So, yeah. Wind's coming straight out of that way. Not the way I thought it was going to come from that way, but still all good. Alright, good morning guys. It's the day after the big storm. A few things blowed off the porch and around, but got a pretty high tide this morning. A little higher than normal. Looks like Nautical Nonsense hung in there. Casualty was the top, which it was already torn, but I guess it finished it off. I did come down here last night and this little sailboat had been stuck up on the bank. I tried pulling it off, tried pushing it off. So one benefit was I was able to push it off last night. Oh, it started raining again. Still getting some heavy rain from the storm. and some good wind gusts. Okay, we got another coat on this. We'll let it dry. Maybe tomorrow afternoon I can put those pieces back in. Get that bulkhead done, and if I can find a piece of pipe and get the rudder shaft, I can go ahead and start putting the floor in. So it would be awesome if I could get that floor in this weekend or next week. Okay, this is what we want to do now. I'm going to remove, oh, it's backwards. I want to remove this. Hopefully it'll come off pretty easy. I'm going to have it powder coated. So, and then that'll be my, when I'm able to put those back on, I know I'm done with the project. But I want to take this one off and the one on the other side, and I want to get them powder coated. I guess that's a swordfish, harbor fish. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to try to remove these rudder control arms and clean them up. Soaking it a little bit with PB Blaster. Hopefully that'll make it a little easier. They look like they might be a challenge. There we go. It's out. Oh, that key goes all the way down to this one. So it ain't coming out until I get this one out. That gives me room to work on that one, which I'm going to let it sit longer. See if I can get it loosened up the next couple of days. Port side. Boom. Now I can drill that out. The head was stripped on. Alright, we'll get these cleaned up and hopefully probably powder coat them. Or we might just paint them, but I'm thinking they'll probably be powder coated. I'm going to try to remove this fresh raw water washdown intake. So maybe make a mistake by cutting this pipe off. May have to wait on that. Even with the valve off, it's still leaking. I don't know if it's running from out of this hose. Or from the bottom of the boat. Take it off the other end and see if it's got water in it. Hard to get to on the other end though, but I won't be able to film that. So here's the other end of the hose, so I got it off. But still can't tell if it's got water in it. This little fitting off. Okay, here we go. This may be the day the boat sinks. Yep, that's coming through from the bottom. Can't cut it off. Alright, so we're going to re-tap that. That's what I was afraid of. I'll slow it down to, let me see what I can come up with. Alright, things like this is why I'm doing this. Because if that had busted while we were offshore, you would have had no way to cut the valve off. So, let's see what we can do here. I've got several different options I'm working on. One will be to get this pipe down in it. Above the water. Alright, that ain't gonna work. Let's try this. Alright, that ain't gonna work. Alright, this may work. Let me get a hose clamp. That's where all my hose clamps went. That's a temporary fix till we get the thing out of the water. As you saw there, that is why I'm doing this project. This boat has so many little issues, and sometimes it makes you wonder what you're doing. But anyhow, that through hole right down there, the valve doesn't work. If you'd have been off, so like I said, if you'd have been offshore and that hose come loose or busted during the night and you didn't know it, I mean, your bilge pumps might keep up with just that one hose, but do you really want to rely on that when you're out 30, 40, 50 miles offshore or away from land and you got water just pumping in and no way to cut it off? That's just not right, not safe, and I wouldn't feel comfortable. So I've got to replace all the through holes when I have the boat pulled out. Hopefully that'll be this winter. In a few months I'll be to that point to pull it out. I know it seems like it's going slow, but it's like anything with a boat. Like I always say, it's always more to it than you think. You just we fix one thing, you find three others. So if I didn't enjoy doing it, I would probably be disgusted and ready to make a reef out of it, and we would just call it Reef Reaper 3. But anyhow, so that's good finds. Knew I had some issues with that on my air conditioners. They won't open. They're right the opposite. You can't open them up to run the ACs. But we want to fix this, and hopefully, well, I won't be able to fix that until it's out of the water. But that won't keep me from putting the floor back in, the tanks in, hooking everything up. So just see what else we can tear up for today. Just another quick note on that raw water washdown pipe I removed, the one that was leaking where the valve wouldn't cut off. One other thing I noticed, between it and the pump there was no kind of filter or trap to catch debris, so that's something we want to add in line. So I'm sure that pump half the time wasn't working right. I mean, you could tell it was probably sucking debris into it. So yeah, so we want to put a filter in line on that. Let's give this another shot and see what we got. banging on that like that. Alright, so that one's out. That's the steering arm. I think that'll be okay. I just need to clean it up. I might break down and take that off and see if I can find a brass or stainless. That may be if I cleaned it up. It was in there tight. Alright, let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. Alright, there it is. Alright, we're going to try to remove these. They're pretty much stripped out, but let's see what we can come up with. Maybe we'll look up. Beautiful. Nope, that one ain't coming out. I'll have to drill it. Okay, they're cleaned up a little bit. The powder coater will sandblast them, so they'll be a little cleaner. But all right, guys, this is the starboard fuel filler hose. I did this. I cut it apart to get it out. As you can see, very rotten. It served its purpose, so it had to come out. But my problem was, even after I cut this sucker, I could not get it out. So I cut this, pulled that piece, it fell right out. This piece I couldn't get out, and I pulled. Finally, I didn't. I may have recorded. I don't think I did. I think it was sprinkling. I didn't want to get my camera out, but so I started pulling on this, hooked a rope to it, was pulling it, and I noticed in the hole where it come through the deck, through the floor, and it come through the little side box, right in here was a big wire tie, and it was clamped to a big bundle of wires. So I was like, I couldn't see it from because it was in between the deck and down in the engine room. But as soon as I seen that and I cut it, that piece just fell out. So I should have known better. I should have looked and seen what was holding it. But anyhow, and this is the bilge pump hose that goes from the rear bilge pump. It's, you know, see right there, it was split, so it was leaking there when it would pump. So definitely glad I'm replacing it. So it's a 1-inch ID, so I think I'm going to go back with that same size. The bilge pump seems to be okay, but I might replace it either way. But this has definitely got to be replaced. So another good outcome by doing this project is fixing stuff like that. Okay, checking the batteries. So let's see what we got here. It's still at 11.3. When I first took it off the charger, it was like at 12, but that was probably, you know, just from it being charged and after it settled down. So it's still holding with nothing on it. It's still holding 11.13, 11.14 around there. So that's not too bad. So let's see what this one's got. If we can do this without, stay there. So that one's at 12.09. I'm going to let it charge a little longer. We've had a lot of rain this week due to the storm. So it is Monday, 9/10 at 6:32 p.m. So yeah, looks promising. Alright guys, there you go. That's week 13 of Nautical Nonsense Rebuild. As you've seen, I had a little storm to deal with. It wasn't that bad other than just some rain and a little wind. Did lose the top up here onto the boat. Thought I had it tied down where it would be okay, no stronger than the storm was going to be, but anyhow, that's my fault. I should have took care of that. Also, we was able to get the rudder yokes off, and also got off the name, the emblem, got that and the yokes off to the powder coater. So we're going to do the Egg Harbor wording in chrome, and the fish we're going to do chrome and the crimson red like we did the fuel filler caps. We're going to outline it in the red, so we'll see how that turns out. I think it'll look okay. If not, we'll redo it, but looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And so got the hoses out, the filler hose, the pump hose, as you've seen, got that out. But this week hopefully I can make some progress and we can start heading back to getting fuel tanks in. Also, I'm going to try to shoot a how-to video using this boat on how to clean your inner bottom, or not your inner bottom, but the bottom of your boat. That boat's been sitting in the water for about 4 weeks. The bottom of it's pretty nasty. It's not really a trick that a lot of people know and use it, but I'll try to shoot that how-to video this week. So if you have a boat that the bottom of it's dirty, this is what we use around here to do it, and it works out pretty nice. And there's a cat, just seen another cat leave. So also, if you need a cat, contact me. I got 2 there, free to a good home, free shipping. I'll ship them to you. But good cats, if you need one, I got one. But anyhow, hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and see you next week.